Well, hello, YouTube. Steve Patton with General Patton Bushcraft back with you, friends. Back out in the backyard, and today I want to show you how we can take this cedar fence board and turn it into a nice tool for bow drill fire making set. Cedar fence board, super forgiving, super easy to get a ember with, soft wood. Stay tuned. Let me show you how I do it. Thank you so much for stopping by General Patton's Bushcraft and Self-Reliance on YouTube. I appreciate everything you do for the channel and all your support. Okay, friends, you can see this still has a tag on it. This is from my local hardware store. Just cedar fence board. But it's nice when you're practicing, when you're learning. So let's take our silky Gomboy Outback saw and we'll cut off about a foot. Let's see. That'll give us a lot of area to make quite a bit of fires. You can see how many fires I got out of this board. It's still got room to go. I can go here, also along here. So let's go ahead and take our Mora bushcraft knife and we're going to make a divot right about here. It's a nice little divot. This will be the first one. We'll do a burn in there. Let's go ahead and make a spindle. All right, we're going to take our bushcraft hammer. Check out my playlist, DIY playlist. You can make yourself one of these. Nice little DIY project. Let's go ahead and we'll stand this up, and we want to split a section off. And so we want it kind of square. Looks like this is going to be about a 1/2 inch or so. About there. Let's see if we can get this to split off straight. It's starting to run on me. Ran on me a little bit. So let's try another section. We'll go about there. This one looks like it's working a little bit better, staying a little straighter. Let's take it all the way down. I like a long spindle, so this one's going to be pretty long. There we go, friends. Now what we got to do is take our bushcraft knife and make this square spindle, make it round. So we're just going to start whittling these 4 sharp edges off and make it round. Don't try to take too much off at a time. This cedar is soft. You can start taking off big chunks if you let your knife blade run too deep. Just take off, start like something like that. Lightly. Lightly start taking these edges off. You can see this end is nice and square, and we got a lot more meat here. Look at that, friends, that split there. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. So now I got some fat part here. Let's start working on this. Let's go little by little, friends. Take your time. Take your time on your prep. Fire making tool prep. Better to take the time up front than have to redo it, start all over because you took too much off and the thing broke or just splintered out on you. So once we think we got it pretty round, that's looking decent. That's looking decent. It's a little bit fat in the middle right here. Take some off. Thin this body of it out. This is a super long spindle. I don't even know if I could leave it this long. I'm gonna try though. But when we think we got it nice and round, we'll put it down on the ground and roll it, give it a good test. So let's do that now. Let's see how it rolls. Well, I can tell a little bit right in here. So let me go ahead and take that off. It'll roll. It's not perfect. It's a little wonky, but let's go with it. Super long spindle. Let's try it out. What we got to do next, we got to put a blunt end on one end and a pointed end on the other. Since this end is a little bit thinner, we'll put the pointed in here. We use this as a blunt end. Let's make that now. This will be our fat wood bearing block end. We don't want it to shoulder out. I'm going to go with that there, friends. Let's put a blunt end. Let's put a blunt end on this end. This is the end that's going to go in that divot that we made on the new hearth board. go with that there. Sharp end, blunt end. All right, let's back up the camera. We'll sweep all these shavings up. We use that for our bird's nest. Okay, friends, we got our bird's nest here. I'm going to try that. We have our leather ember catch we're going to put underneath, but we got to do a burn in first, then we're going to cut a V-notch. So let's load the bowl with this giant, super long spindle. Get this here. Wow, this is the longest one I've ever used, friends. I don't know if it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Look at that. Super long. Let's do a burn in and we'll cut a V-notch. Starting to get some smoke down there. I got some black dust forming up. We'll go a little bit more. Let's cut our V-notch. Okay, we got the V-notch cut in there. Let's go for an ember. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to have my right knee back, my left foot forward. I'm going to put my divot right on this leather ember catch. Left foot on the board to secure it. Let's load this super long spindle, friends. It's the longest one I've ever used. Let's warm it up. Getting some smoke. Let's pick up a little more speed. Let that dust pile up through that V-notch that we cut. Oh no, friends. Oh no, friends. Our board split out. But we do have an ember. Oh my goodness. Let's see if we can save this. Wouldn't that be something? If we could save that explosion. Let's save this dust. Wow. No editing, friends. I'll have to try to slow motion that explosion. But we did have an ember. Let's scoot all this dust together. See if this can't coalesce into one big ember. Oh, we're going to have to be patient now, friends. Look at that. Exploded out. But we do have a decent pile of dust. We do have a super small ember. Let me give you guys a close-up of that. Now we just have to be patient and very gentle. That stuff is really powdery. See that tiny ember? Let's let it catch the rest of that dust and hopefully coalesce into one big ember. Wouldn't that be something? Ooh wee. That's the first time that's happened to me. That's why we practice in the backyard, friends. I'm going to get my bird's nest ready. Maybe these fines we'll put on the top. I don't want that ember to fall through. Wow. Got to be smart and we got to be careful now. So that'll be where we drop. We're going to drop the ember right in there. We'll put a little bit of fines on top and let it cook. Okay, let's keep that there. Let's check on this ember. Got to be gentle, not too much oxygen. Let's let that cook. I'm going to reposition the camera. I am not going to edit. So buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Our ember's still over there. There's the same ember. continuing to let that cook and grow in size before we drop it in there. Let's get the bird's nest ready. Be careful with this guy. Be gentle. Let me get these pine needles out of the way. Ooh, friends. I want to put a little bit on top now. I'm going to lightly sprinkle a little bit on the top of this ember. See if we can't get, I don't want to put it out. See if we can do a little gentle swing, arm swing with it. Friends, I cannot believe it. Look at that. Wow-wee. That is really something else. I am super stoked, super excited. Man, oh man, that has never happened to me before. Friends, that was super exciting. My motherboard, my hearthboard exploded on me. Maybe it was because my super long spindle was putting torque on it. But that was something else. That was super fun, friends. All right, friends. I thank you for stopping by the channel. Before you leave, please consider subscribing. After you subscribe, do give the video a like, friends. This video was something else. Explosion. I'm going to try to slow-mo that action on the edit so you guys can see exactly what happened. We were able to salvage the ember. That was really something else. All right. I appreciate everything you do for the channel. All your views, all your likes, all your shares. Most importantly, all your comments. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this exploding ember. All right. Please, please don't depart from the faith. And if you haven't already, give your life to Christ. Do it today. Don't wait. And as always, God is good. God is great. I see y'all on the next video. Already got a date. Can't believe that exploding ember. Ooh wee, that was fun.